for him here. Okay, I'm here in Miss Cleveland's class, and it's been a long time since I've had a chance to be with them to talk about the voyages of the Makulu. And this week I was showing them about how the boat Makulu has arrived in Trinidad, and we were talking about the West Indies and people who come from the West Indies. Delroy, why don't you tell us some of the things that you shared with the class about people in your family who came from the West Indies? Go right ahead. You're on the air.
They're from Antigua.
Okay, who's that? Someone on your father's side, mother's side?
Father's side.
Okay, anywhere else?
From Trinidad.
Yeah, who's from Trinidad?
My stepfather.
Okay, have you ever been to Antigua or Trinidad? Have you ever gone back? Because I'm sure he's gone back there to visit. Right?
I went to Antigua.
You've been to Antigua? When was that?
A long time ago.
Okay, so do you remember what it was like there at all?
Yeah.
What was it like? Can you describe it? Sort of like what we saw?
They have a lot of beaches.
Forests?
Forests. You have to take a plane to get there.
Right. And they must have an airport to land. They just don't drop you out in a parachute, do they?
No.
No, they have an airport. Okay, how about some of the other people who might have mentioned something about Carnival, because we found out that there's going to be a Carnival occurring in Trinidad on February 19th. I'd like another guest on our show. Thank you, Delroy. Yes, come on. And who do we have here coming on our show? Cassandra? How have you been, Cassandra?
Good.
And what do you have to share with us about Carnival and all that kind of stuff? Okay, you know, we have a big guest here, big in many ways, Mr. Ling. Mr. Ling, your name came up because the third graders study something about the Makulu. That's this ship that travels all around the world, and they are now in Trinidad. So I was talking to them about Carnival, and I showed them a clip from the West Indian Day Parade and the steel drums, and I mentioned you, and so there you are.
Right.
Ain't you from Trinidad?
Not me. Right there. You want to speak to him?
Yeah, or you want to be on our show, on our little radio show, our podcast? Yeah, so here's Mr. Ling to talk to us. He's a very famous person in the steel drum community of New York. And if you look on YouTube, you'll find him, Miss Cleveland. I don't know whether you know that.
Not too close. All right. Just so happens I was carrying a book around by Jeff Norrell, who's the brother of Andy Norrell, two famous steel drum players. And this is what he says about Carnival. He starts off with Calypso. Those of you who heard that word before, is the music that comes from Trinidad. Also the limbo, where they go under the stick. Sometimes they light it with the fire. That comes from Trinidad too. So when he speaks about Calypso, he gets into the Carnival. And he said around the 1800s, one of the things that they also invented was the kalinda, which was the stick fighting. So if you ever see people, you go on a trip, got two big sticks hitting on each other or one, that's where it comes from. Another thing about Carnival is called camboulé. It's a French word. That's a dance with African drumming. Another thing you need to know about, you might have heard something called soca, which is the most popular music now in Trinidad. It's a mixture, supposedly, of soul and calypso put together. So for you young guys, I used to listen to old hip-hop. You guys probably wouldn't like that now, too slow for you. If you like the faster stuff, that's the difference between calypso and soca. Another thing he mentions is the names of the people who were singers. And usually the singers took names after something that was famous or something they liked. So, for example, one guy called himself the Roaring Lion. Maybe he had a big afro and he was loud. Another guy said he was Attila the Hun. Maybe he liked to beat up people like Night at the Museum when he chased everybody around. Did you see that? All he wanted to do was pull people apart. Yeah, I just saw that. That was funny. A very famous person who's still alive. His name is the Mighty Sparrow. Sparrows are small, right? Guy can really sing and talk though. And you got names like the Duke of Iron, names like Chalk Dust. Guess what Chalk Dust did for a living? He was a what?
Singer.
Teacher. That's why he used the word chalk dust. Play on words. Another guy called him.
Costumes or something.
Well, I'm talking about names of the singers now.
Oh, the singers. Okay.
And Gypsy, and the funniest one I like, Lord Shorty. Guess how tall he was? 6'4". So those are some of the things that we went over yesterday with the junior high school about Carnival and different things that happened during Carnival.
Because we learned when we went online that they're having their carnival in Trinidad starting February 19th.
Right. And it's still going on right now.
But here in New York City, it's sort of the West Indian Parade is the highlight. And
first weekend in September, guess where it started? Anybody know? Started right here in Harlem. That Harlem Day Parade was originally the West Indian Day Parade.
And Brooklyn stole it from you guys.
Oh no, they moved to Brooklyn, that's all.
Because they have the largest West Indian population.
It used to be up here, Harlem, a long time ago. That's it.
Well, thank you for just hopping right in here. And our own local expert on Carnival and West Indian stuff. And there was a clip I showed them on New York 1 where they were practicing the steel bands and stuff like that.
Maybe you gotta let them come to the gym if everybody could come up with their own name. Calypsonian name.
Yeah.
Lord Godzilla over there, if I call it Godzilla.
The Mighty Delroy.
Well, no, you saw that at the museum, right? So that big head, the stone guy that was on the wall, I like that. Dumb guy. I'm not saying you dumb, but...
For me or for Mr. Ling? You want to say?
So if you come up with a name that describes you...
This is like a little tape recorder.
I might let